Hi, welcome. I'm Priscilla Batzell. This is Expressionist Fluid Art Studio Gallery's demonstrations and tutorials. Let's have some fun. So this is another 14 by 14 inch canvas covered with maiden black gloss paint. And this is dazzling white, which I have found works really, really well to create a highlight effect. And also, when I have dazzling white in the background, it means I can do something with lighter colors like Whispering Wisteria or Rhapsody Rose, and they will still show up. I also feel pretty chuffed about the decor at 24 karat gold. Which I probably should have shaken. Now, this is very similar to another painting I did recently, and that's okay because it's sold. I want the mysterious mystique, in spite of the fact that it's the only bottle I didn't check and it's not open. And I've got enough, hopefully. Oh, please. I got enough of a hole for some, but not a lot. I'll just keep wishing that would open. This is Blue Flame. And I'm going to grab the Snapdragon next. Even though it might be tough to get it to come down and play. We always hope that the small amount that's left in there does not include marble lodging itself in the tip. I like to try and put 3 colors together eventually. And I will just keep adding colors until I figure out what I like. This is Miami Magenta. And the Dancing Fuchsia. So I'll put some of that right on the white, which is not coming out very easily. Oh, I thought it was open. Son of a gun. Okay, well, we're going to switch. And we're going to go to Rhapsody Rose. Without that paint chip lodged under my fingernail that I expect to land in the painting any second. Whoa. Okay, that was not part of the plan. But that's okay, we'll live. Whatever was clogging the tip is no longer clogging the tip. I'm going to use a little bit of... I'm going to see that thing that fell in there and grab it. And remove it. This is Tickled Pink. I'm going to use a little bit of Orange Crush. Which evidently needed to be shaken. I might use a little saffron. Actually, I've got Alizarin Rose, which I happen to be a big fan of. And it's almost time for some Whispering Wisteria, which if I use it on dark color might be a problem. But I'm going to try it anyway. Looks like it worked this time. Somewhat. And it will tend to take over anyway. So what have I not used? I haven't used the frozen. I think somewhere I have African Violet, which will dry much prettier than it looks there. I want to sneak in a little bit of my yellow-orange custom mix because I really like how it looks. It adds a nice contrast. I didn't use any red violet yet, and I think that's next. Now, I've got Cerulean C, which is very similar to some of the other colors. You might want a little more Snapdragon, as long as it's open and willing to play. I'm going to hit everything last time with that needs it with some tickled pink, I think, because it's one of the pinks, one of the only pinks that I know of that still shows up. Now whatever else I need, I will try and remember to add afterwards. But in the meantime, I see one color I didn't hit. I'll use the African Violet. Are there any others? So, I wish I had something other than black to use for my base. No paint chips allowed, please. I'm going to add a strand of black to every stem, I guess. And I kind of feel like adding a little green. I mean, it's kind of risky. I'm not sure I've really taken that kind of chance before. Do I want to do any more? No, I don't. Do I want to add a little green? I'm going to try it without. I've got Amsterdam white. No, I'm not going to try it without. I'm going to put some green in there, even if it's just at the top for foliage. Unless it's not going to cooperate, in which case I'll find another green. I'm not sure how this is going to work. I feel like doing one without the black. Now in theory, because I've seen the puddles of paint like this dry without any cracking, I could leave the colors as they were, but I didn't really plan on that. You know what, I see one I want to fix. Two actually. One's with the alizarin nose. I'm going to throw a little bit of Tuscan Sun in there. Now, like I was saying, I've got Amsterdam white, and I cut a swipe card. It's kind of dirty, but it makes it easier for you to see. I put some white right down in my dish. I'm going to try and keep myself on track by starting from left to right, because I'm right-handed mostly. Now I'm going to wipe that off. So I probably shouldn't have experimented right then. That's okay. Still doing it. I want to wait to manipulate the green until after I get a chance to put some spirals in the flowers. And I'm not being patient, and I should chill myself out. I love the patterns that the white cell activator makes. I didn't get as many on the second and third, but maybe that's because I had more cell activator, which I will try and repeat. It's hard to know how much is enough. That's not working very well. I'll just keep wiping off our card and hope it gets better. I like the variations on the theme. I really, really do. I have got to allow myself to steal a little bit of green. Just change up the stems. I see something I want to fix. That's not open either. Darn. We'll let the Snapdragon down unless the African Violet works. Oh, it worked. Cool. I want to start from the right-hand side so bad. How does a cat hair even get lodged in my ring? I want to know. One minute I'm cat hair free and the next minute there it is. It must travel on the wind. I'm glad I tried the green. I like it. I'm going to have to use some more cell activator. I'm going from this end. I don't care. Might come back tomorrow and put a moon and stars in. I was thinking I would like to do that a lot. Glad I didn't put the green all the way down too. One more and then I'll spiral some flowers out. Oh, and I'm going to be late for dinner. Probably not a bad idea to come back tomorrow. If I want to put some more greenery in, I can do that too. But in the meantime, I'm thinking I like the green that I've got, and I need some right now. If I can get it, that'd be great. The last time I did this, I think I tried to swipe through. I'm going to put a little bit Miami magenta right there. And here. And here. And here. Anywhere that I missed. Having 3 colors. Because I don't mind repeating a really good color. This mess over here, I'm not sure what to do with that. That was my bad. It's important to spin around the center when you get to it. And it won't hurt anything, in my opinion, if you drag some color along from the prior flower. Helps if you don't have a crooked skewer. So far so good. I'm not sure about this up here. I think I'll just fill that in. I like it when they're odd. That just makes it interesting. I can always put dots in tomorrow too. I like it when the white gets mixed in. I've got maybe not quite enough time to finish what I started, but you're going to understand. If you see it next time, I'm probably going to be adding moon and stars, so it shouldn't make any difference if you see it with all the spiraled out centers of the flowers. There definitely should be dots. I think they look great. They don't just look great, they supply my need for some more flowers. And if you got too much paint, just make another flower. So this is the next day and it's dry, and with the exception of one little tiny lump, which I'm going to put up with, I like it just fine. But I do want to put the moon in I said I was going to put in. I thought about interference gold, and I thought about dazzling white. But what I want to do is try silver. It's true silver, it's not available, it hasn't been available for a while. I usually use the iridescent silver from Deco Art. I'm sure you could use any little container that's the right size. I'm not sure how this is going to go. I want it low by the horizon. And I figure anything that gets on that doesn't belong is going to get wiped off with a Q-tip. And anything I want to add, I could just leave that for now, actually, pretty easily. Release my nail art tool. I'm not unhappy, really. I gave it a nose now. That's all it needs is a nose. If I need touch up tomorrow, that's going to happen too. Give it a second coat on the bottom where it's not too thick. Now I'm going to put paint in this container and fast forward. Okay, so now my plan is to take some Fandango and one of my silicone rubber brushes, and I might want another color green in there, and I've got what comes to hand readily is Perfect Peacock. Probably too much of both of them, but better too much than too little at this point. Oops. Now I did use a much brighter green. If I start with a small tip above and drag it sort of sideways a little bit, I get a fatter blade at the bottom. And as long as there's some black in there, some uncovered, some negative space, it looks like a low light or a shadow. At least I think so. Now instead of the other green, I could have used a little purple, which I usually like to do actually. And I wasn't sure how I'd feel about this, but I like it. Especially the fact that it's bright green at the top and tapers down to having shadows in it. I think that worked out really well. I wasn't sure if I was going to try and put more stems in or just grass, and it looks like grass to me. But it could be anything. That's for you to decide. I could also put little tiny flecks of leaves on the stem like this here. Or using my nail art tool and just make adjustments. Like dragging the tip out if I want to. No, I'm not happy with that. I'm going to try what I said I was going to do with a short brush. And if I need to touch up my moon, I'm probably not going to show that, but I'll just use some black. Hi, this is Priscilla. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And if you'd like to be super helpful, please join the membership. My art is for sale. I'm here to help. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I have 2 books on paint pouring. They're found in the Amazon link, and the Amazon link is found on the link tree in the description underneath the video. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you come again. Bye for now. Priscilla out.